welcome to this week's episode of Sunday Spin. I'm Laura, here with Terry as always, and this is where we take a couple minutes each Sunday and let you guys know what we're listening to. Real quick, our friends Doc Rotten have just dropped some awesome news. They have a brand new album coming out on Havoc Underground called Unite Resist, coming out March 25th. So make sure you follow their pages to get all the goods on that. They're going to be dropping some singles and all that good stuff too in the meantime. Terry, who are you spinning this week?
So very excited to finally listen to this. It just got dropped last Friday, October 29th. I am spinning 2:30. It's their self-titled album. It's 12 songs, 37 minutes long. It was released through Slush Tone Records. If you don't know them, you need to go and check these guys up. They are just fantastic. They're ska, they're that bubblegum ska, pop, rock. They're really just a grab bag of everything. This album especially, I found them to be really just touching on so many genres of music. And, it's got that classical element, it's got that pop element, it's got, there were bands that was just picking up left, right, and center. And I really, really enjoyed it. The album opens up with big energy. It's like that 80s hairband metal, like the ones with the long hair and the jackets and like the vest and like the leather and like just made me want to like rip up my jeans and like, pull out the bangs, maybe the mullet. I don't know, but it really had the blue eyeshadow. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The crimps.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. A little bit. I think this is a little. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah. I have to agree here. But it really opens up with like the really heavy, like that guitar line really comes through and the drum really comes through, and then you hear Tara's voice. And anytime you hear Tara's voice, it's like kind of like an energy just comes over me. And it doesn't matter if I was like having a crusty day, she just like changes my mood instantly. Not only because like her music, but if you were to know Tara in person, she's just a little like bubble of happiness. And I just absolutely adore anytime I get to like listen to her putting out stuff. She's very active on social media, so make sure you go and check out 2:30. But yeah, opens up with this song. The song's talking about taking a chance and going out. And kind of when I can be like that, I get a little bit nervous before I go to like a show or something, or places that I'm not familiar with. And it kind of takes me a little bit of coaxing to do so, because all the thoughts, well, what if I hit it, like anything, everything goes on. And the song's about going out, taking a chance, relying on your friends to be there for you, and making sure they're there to keep you safe, and knowing at the end of the day you're gonna have a great time. So it's better to go and just enjoy yourself and enjoy life. We only have the one, so we might as well make the most of it. I thought it was a really fun song. So make sure it was the first song on the album. The next song's a little bit not a topic I really expected from them, but I really kind of enjoyed. I really enjoyed how honest this album was, especially through the song, which is Mean Green. And I can attest to potentially have done this maybe once or twice in my life, but it talks about, having a friend and then becoming jealous and little things that they do, and you kind of just start building that little green monster inside of you, and you're just like, they do these other things, or maybe it's somebody that talks to them, or just a bunch of different things that can really set it off. And like checking yourself before it kind of bowls over and like takes over. They have this very cool piano right off the top. They're a very big heavy brass band, so the brass lines are very solid here. If you were gonna stand in front of that stage, like like be prepared to have your face just like melted off. But yes, very heavy. And then Tara's voice also comes through a little bit heavier, but yeah, the writing on this song, I thought it to be very honest, made me kind of just sit back and reflect again, like, oh crap, yeah, I have done that. And yeah, maybe I should stop and check with myself, maybe it's something within me that's making me do these things or feel this way. So, kind of took the time and check back. And anytime a song can do that and make me really think, I really enjoy it. The last song I am picking, it was a single, and we have talked about this song before, but it's a song that I can't put it down, and it hits me right in the feels. It makes me feel, reminds me of my grandmother. She passed several years ago. But Tara, if you don't know her story, she has a daughter that has SMA, which is spinal muscular atrophy. And essentially, it kind of stops the growth of, and I might be wrong here, but I believe that the muscles kind of deteriorate after time and kind of, harden up, and it affects. But her daughter is, currently in treatment, and she's doing very well. And she's a cute, bubbly, I believe she's 5, maybe 6. Sorry, Tara, if I don't know, but she is just the cutest little thing. And my grandmother, we had somebody in my family that has a disability, and, this was back in the 60s, early 70s, or actually late 50s, early 60s. And it was definitely a different time. But, my grandma really took the time to make sure that my uncle had a normal life, or as normal as a life you could be. And, as a parent myself, talking about kind of how she was before she had her kids, and things didn't when you were gloomy, it was easy to be gloomy back in the day. And it was easy to just, if I wanted to just lay down all day, I could. But, now that I have a kid and they need me to take care of them, and same for her, you have to put the smile on your face. You have to get up. And, the song is called Shine for a reason, and it's to shine for our children and making sure that they're okay. And the part that always touches me the most is the very last part of the song, when she says, when, I'm gone, 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 and you have to carry on. And it's just always just hits me, because I remember very deeply when my grandma, just before she passed away, even though my uncle was well into his 50s, that was her big worry too, was, are you going to be okay? Will you be taken care of? My uncle takes care of himself. He's great. But, needing that reassurance, and also taking the time to remind her daughter through the song to listen to the song, and that, she knows that she's loved and she's cared for. And, Tara took every step to make sure that she was okay. The song's a little bit slower. But it does speed up, and it's still a fun song to listen to. And it's such a harsh and tough subject sometimes, but the way that they made it, it's still so personal, but it's still a fun song. And this whole album, I want to say, I was dancing through so much. They kind of have a couple songs that have that gypsy punk style, kind of like Gogo Bordello, or the Streetlight Manifesto. And I absolutely loved it, especially those songs too. They were great. It was really hard to pick really a song on this album, but yeah, make sure you guys go check it out. Tara and the gang, Max, congratulations on this album. Truly fantastic. I absolutely love it, and I love you guys. So yeah, with that, who are you spinning, Laura?
So this week I am spinning a band that, after this airs, I will have already seen them live, but I discovered this band through a friend of ours, MC Heiser from Skid Row Garage. We're actually heading down there this weekend, so I figured it'd be nice to kind of get familiar with some of the bands that we're going to go and see. And I love when a band punches me right in the face and I can't stop listening to them, and that is what happened here. So I'm talking about a band out of Washington, D.C. They're called The Mostly Dead, and you guys all know Terry and I are big fans of hardcore, so this one really got me excited. The other day, I was literally just sending her songs. I was like, listen to this. This reminds me of this band and this singer and this drummer. And I love when we're able to do those things before we sit down and film Sunday Spin. So,
I didn't even know it's going to be your pick either.
Honestly, I didn't know it was going to be my pick either. Like I said, I had other plans this week, but I have not been able to stop listening to this band's whole catalog, which also made it very hard for me to pick an album to talk about. So I did pick their album. I didn't go with an EP. I figured I'd go with an album. So I'm talking about Wilderness from 2014. I believe this one was self-released, but they are currently on Settle For It Records. They have a split out right now too that I definitely want to mention with the Donalds, and oh my gosh, it is fantastic. So you're going to want to check that out. You can pick all of their stuff up on Bandcamp and all that good stuff. But anyway, we're going all the way back to 2014 with this album called Wilderness. It's 10 tracks, about, I think it's a little over a half hour long, and it is roaring. It really is. I love it. A couple songs I want to talk about they're all a little bit different in really cool ways. My first one is going to be Sink and Drain. It has this very Bronx-like intro with these crispy drums and these chunky riffs. And you guys know that I fucking love the Bronx. So immediately my ears are perked up and I'm like, oh shit, what is this, you know? There's this really great breakdown that has this like Sick of It All influence. And Terry and I actually got a little excited over that, I think. But they have that classic hardcore style, you know, where they have this big, huge, beautiful build-up and these heavy, slow, crazy breakdowns. But it comes back quick with this more melodic sound. He has this really nice voice. He's able to scream and able to sing and change them in and out quite a bit. And I really like that. It reminds me a lot of Comeback Kid. And I love that band for that reason. I love how they're able to just jump back and forth. So that was really cool to pick like all of these different influences and elements up in all of these songs. My favorite track on here though is going to be The Body, and these two roll right into each other. I love these bold drums and the distortion on the guitars here. Again, it has that like very Bronx-like essence to it. But there's some really cool like back harmonies on this track that I feel are really great. And again, the breakdown on here is awesome. You almost think that it's over when it hits that halfway point, but they pull out this like blood for blood style breakdown, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, oh shit, hold on, we're not done just yet. And it just explodes with these great screams and these drums right until the end, and I can't get enough of that. The last song I'm going to talk about is called The Kid Doesn't Help, and this one really stuck out to me because it was the most different to me than anything on this album. It had more of a skate punk vibe, I think, to it, but it's still pulling these metal and hardcore elements. The intro to this song reminds me through and through of Razor Sex by Strung Out. Like, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh, am I listening to something else? But I wasn't. And the way that this song transitions in between both of these styles is wild. The vocals here sound a lot like Toby Morse, but there's a lot more grit in there, I think, is the word I'm kind of looking for. I don't know. I can't explain it. You guys really just have to check it out. This band is clean as fuck, though. Everything that they do is right on point. Another thing that Terry and I talked about was the way that this was mixed and mastered. It was just flawless, honestly. Like, kudos here. It was really great. Again, you're going to want to check out Wilderness from 2014. They have stuff that's still coming out 2020. They're on tour right now. They're going to blow your mind. It's the Mostly Dead. Hit them up on Bandcamp, social media, all that good stuff. That brings us to one of my favorite parts of our segment, shout outs. Terry, who are you shouting out this week?
I am going to shout out another Thousand Island Records band. Also with Lockjaw Records. So this is a dual label release, I guess, but Our Darkest Days out of Quebec. They have released a new single called Sea of Lies, and this is just ahead of their November 19th release of Snakes and Ladders. So you make sure you guys go check it out. It's a combination of skate, melodic, you know, just a little bit of that touch of metal in there too. I really love the voice. The vocals in it are very strong. They will almost like 2:30 brass. These guys are gonna like melt your face off. So make sure you go and check these guys out. You will not be disappointed. Laura, who's your shout out?
So we actually have a really fucking awesome video this week by a band that I fell in love with years and years ago at Punk Rock Bowling, and then I've gotten the chance to see them a bunch of times in between. Crazy in the Brains just dropped a cover of Iggy Pop and the Teddy Bears Punk Rocker, and it is fantastic. I love the rendition of it, but this video, you guys, you're definitely going to want to stick around and watch it. It's awesome. They just came off tour with Days and Days and Bridge City Sinners and Cop Out, so you're going to want to follow their social media to see what they're up to next, and we will see you guys next Sunday.
Driving down the street, I'm bored with looking good. I got both hands on the wheel. The cops are coming. I'm listening to the music with no fear. You can hear it too if you're sincere. my name on your skin. No, I'll be there forever, forever. I'm listening to the music with no fear. You can do it too if you're sincere. 'Cause I'm a punk rocker, yes I am. 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 Hey!
Take 74. Hello, welcome to Sunday Spin. We just start blowing kisses to everybody, waving like we're in the parades. Oh, I don't have any Beetlejuice accessories.